You think a bowl of fruit is harmless. You think a morning glass of juice is healthy. You think the snack you grab at 3 p.m. is keeping you alive. You're wrong. And the science behind why is going to make you furious. Because there's a war happening in your kitchen right now. A silent war. It's not between organic and conventional. It's not about price. It's a war over your hormones, your energy, and the number on your blood test that your doctor watches like a hawk. And you don't even know you're losing it. Right now, inside your fruit bowl, there are 7 players. 4 are saboteurs. 3 are healers. And you can't tell them apart. Neither can your doctor. The label on the bag won't help. The commercials won't warn you. But the liver inside your body knows. It knows which ones make it stronger, and which ones force it to quietly, silently transform into a fat-storing machine that ruins your fasting blood sugar while you sleep. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to walk into that kitchen together. We are going to point at every single fruit. And I'm going to show you which ones belong on your plate, which ones belong in the trash, and which ones, if you eat them the wrong way, are basically medicine you're pouring down the sink. But first, we need to talk about the organ you forgot. The organ that is the key to everything. The liver. Stop thinking about sugar like it's all the same. That's the mistake. That's the trap. Table sugar, the white powder in your pantry, is half glucose and half fructose. Glucose goes straight into your bloodstream. It triggers insulin. You get a spike, then a crash. We all know that story. But fructose is different. Fructose doesn't go into your blood at all, not directly. It has to take a detour. It has to stop at the liver first. And your liver, that tough, silent workhorse, has to process it. It can handle a little, a berry here, an apple there. The fiber in those fruits slows it down. The liver works calmly. Everything is fine. But that's not what we are doing. We are loading it. We are flooding it. And when fructose hits the liver too fast, without the fiber to slow it down, the liver panics. It doesn't have time to process it properly. So it does the only thing it can do. It converts that fructose directly into fat. Fatty droplets start accumulating inside your liver cells. And worse, the liver starts to ignore insulin. It becomes resistant. And when your liver is resistant to insulin, your fasting blood sugar goes up. The number you see when you wake up after 12 hours of not eating, that number starts climbing. Not because of what you ate last night, but because your liver is now malfunctioning. It's dumping sugar into your blood because it can't hear the insulin shouting at it to stop. That is the big picture. That is why fruit isn't just sugar. It's a metabolic signal. And some fruits are sending the wrong signal. Let's find out which ones are pulling the trigger. Number 1 on the hit list, watermelon. It's 92% water. It feels like a health food. It's the taste of summer. It's what you grab at the barbecue thinking you're making a smart choice. But here's the reality. The glycemic index of watermelon is 76. For perspective, that's higher than a Snickers bar. It's in the same ballpark as white bread. And why? Because it has almost no fiber. The sugar hits your system like a truck. The water tricks you into feeling nothing, but your pancreas feels the shock wave. That bowl of watermelon on the porch? That's not a snack. That's a spike. You'll feel it an hour later when you crash and reach for a cookie. And here's the part that should make you stop and think. Most people eat watermelon when it's hottest outside. Their body is already stressed from the heat. Their blood vessels are dilated. Their heart is working harder. And then they dump a sugar bomb on top of that. It's a recipe for inflammation. It's not refreshing. It's reckless. Number 2. Pineapple. Pineapple is the wolf in sheep's clothing. It has a great reputation because of an enzyme called bromelain, which helps with digestion. But bromelain does 0 for your blood sugar. 0. Meanwhile, pineapple carries a glycemic index of 66. It is packed with fast sugar and almost nothing to slow it down. And here's the crime. Most people buy it canned, in syrup. It's a sugar bomb wrapped in a tropical fantasy. The only way to have pineapple is fresh, and a few bites right after a meal. On an empty stomach? That's a sugar delivery system with a Hawaiian shirt on. Think about the last time you ate pineapple. Did you eat it alone? Did you eat it as a snack between meals? That is exactly when it does the most damage. Your stomach is empty. There's no protein, no fat, nothing to slow the absorption. It hits your system like a wave, and you crash just as hard. Number 3. Mango. They call it the king of fruits. It's loaded with vitamin C. It has carotenoids. It's beautiful. But one medium mango contains 45 grams of sugar. That is more than most candy bars. And its glycemic index sits around 60. For someone watching their glucose, it is a Trojan horse. The sugar load drowns the benefits. If you want mango, treat it like dessert. A few thin slices at the end of a meal, half a mango in the morning for breakfast. That's a number you're going to see on your meter and not like. And here's a question. Have you ever noticed how you feel after eating a big mango? Do you get sleepy? Do you get brain fog? That's the crash. That's your blood sugar spiking and plummeting. And you think it's just a heavy fruit. It's not. It's a metabolic event. And then we get to number 4, the banana. The banana is the most interesting fruit in the world because it proves a rule that nobody talks about. The banana is not one thing. It changes. A firm banana with a green tip is packed with resistant starch. That starch literally resists digestion. It travels through your gut like a slow train, barely affecting blood sugar. But as that banana sits on your counter and turns brown and spotted, that resistant starch turns into plain, simple sugar. A heavily spotted banana has a glycemic index around 62. The same banana, 3 days apart, is a completely different food. And most people make the worst mistake possible. They grab the brownest, softest, sweetest banana. They eat it alone, on an empty stomach, at 7 in the morning. And they wonder why they're shaky and starving by 10 a.m. A green banana, half of it, with some peanut butter, that's reasonable. A brown banana at sunrise? That's a spike with a crash built in. So that's the enemy squad. Watermelon, pineapple, mango, and the ripe banana. They are sitting in your kitchen right now, quietly working against you. Now let's talk about the allies. Number 3, the apple. You've heard the saying your whole life, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And it turns out it's almost true, with one massive condition. The skin has to stay on. The secret to the apple is pectin. That soluble fiber is concentrated right under the skin. When you eat it, pectin forms a gel in your stomach that slows the absorption of sugar down to a crawl. It's a natural governor. But peel that apple? You just threw the medicine in the trash. You kept the sugar and lost the cure. Turn it into applesauce or juice, and it's even worse. A whole apple with the skin on has a glycemic index of just 36, one of the gentlest numbers on this entire list. Eat it whole. Eat the skin. That's it. That's the whole instruction. And here's a trick. Eat your apple with a handful of almonds. The combination of fiber from the apple and fat from the almonds creates a slow-release energy that your blood sugar barely registers. It's a perfect combination. It's simple. It works. Number 2. Grapefruit. Grapefruit is a clinical powerhouse. It's got the lowest GI we've discussed today, around 25. It carries a compound called naringenin, which is linked to better insulin sensitivity. On paper, it's perfect. But this is the part that can save your life or ruin it. Grapefruit blocks an enzyme in your gut called CYP3A4. That enzyme is crucial for breaking down a huge list of common medications: statins for cholesterol, blood pressure pills, anti-anxiety meds. If you eat grapefruit while on these drugs, the medication levels in your blood can spike to dangerous, toxic levels. It's not a rumor. It's a genuine medical risk. So if you take a statin or blood pressure pill, do not add grapefruit to your day. Period. Call your pharmacist. Ask. It takes one phone call. If you're not on those meds, half a grapefruit in the morning is a quiet champion. And here's something most people don't know. The bitterness of grapefruit is actually the medicine. That sharp, bitter taste comes from the flavonoids that protect your cells. If you're adding sugar to grapefruit to make it taste better, you're defeating the whole purpose. You're adding a spike to cancel out the protection. And finally, number 1, the blueberry, the king of the berries, the one we opened with, and the one that is most often wasted. The magic in blueberries is anthocyanin, that deep blue pigment in the skin. It literally improves the way your cells respond to insulin. Published trials have shown measurable improvements in insulin sensitivity in just 6 weeks from blueberry compounds alone. But here is the epic fail. The thing that makes me want to scream. People destroy that benefit before it ever reaches their blood. They blend them into a smoothie. They shred the fiber, flood the liver with fructose, and undo the exact mechanism we talked about earlier. Or they bake them into muffins, or dump them on sweetened cereal. The good they do is buried under the spike from everything around it. You are eating the bottle and pouring the medicine down the sink. The right way is ridiculously simple. Half a cup, whole. Fresh or frozen, it doesn't matter. Eaten with some protein and fat. Plain Greek yogurt. A handful of nuts. Whole. Not blended. Not baked. Not buried. And here's a secret. Frozen blueberries actually have a slight advantage. The freezing process can break down the cell walls slightly, making the anthocyanins more bioavailable. But that's only if you eat them whole. If you blend them, you destroy the fiber. If you eat them frozen, straight out of the bag, you get the benefit. It's that simple. Now, let me tell you about Doris. Doris walked into my office at 64 years old. Her A1C was 8.4. That number, for anyone who doesn't know, is your average blood sugar over 3 months. And 8.4 is the danger zone. It's where your doctor starts talking seriously about insulin. Doris was scared. She was frustrated. She felt like she was doing everything right and getting punished for it. 90 days later, I saw her again. Her A1C was 6.1. Her endocrinologist didn't believe her. He asked what she had changed. A drop like that usually means a new drug, a big intervention. He asked her, "What did you do?" And she said, "I changed one fruit." What did Doris actually do? Every morning she stirred half a cup of whole blueberries into her plain Greek yogurt. The protein and fat in the yogurt slowed the sugar absorption. No smoothie, no cereal. But she did one more thing. One crucial, brilliant thing. She stopped drinking her morning glass of orange juice, the one she had been having for 40 years. That juice was undoing her blueberries every single morning before she even left the kitchen. It was spiking her blood sugar, driving inflammation, and setting her up for a crash before she even got to work. The blueberry was the healer. The orange juice was the saboteur. In 90 days, a 49-cent serving of the cheapest berry in the store, combined with a 40-year habit she finally broke, changed her life. Her doctor wrote it down. He had to see it to believe it. Let me give you some perspective. That drop from 8.4 to 6.1 is not just a number. That's the difference between needing insulin and not needing insulin. That's the difference between vision problems and clear sight. That's the difference between nerve damage and healthy nerves. That's the difference between amputations and walking. That drop changed everything for Doris. And it all started with a blueberry. So here's the plan, the action plan. And this is where you start winning. Step 1. Tonight, walk into your kitchen. Find the watermelon, the pineapple, the mango, and any banana that has gone soft and spotted. You don't need to throw them out. You just need to move them, in your head, from snack to treat. Small portions, after a meal, never alone on an empty stomach. Step 2. Tomorrow morning, eat half a cup of whole blueberries, fresh or frozen, with plain Greek yogurt or a handful of nuts. Whole, not blended, not on cereal. Step 3. If you have fruit juice in your refrigerator, pour out the last glass you will ever drink. Juice is the fastest way to undo everything we talked about. It's the enemy of the liver. It is sugar water. Get rid of it. Step 4. Keep apples with the skin on in a bowl where you will actually see them. Eat them whole. The skin is the medicine. Step 5. This one is not optional. If you take a statin or a blood pressure medication, do not start eating grapefruit. Call your pharmacist. Do not guess. Do not stop your medication. One phone call. That's it. And I want to add one more step. Step 6. Commit to this for 90 days. That's all. 3 months. You want to see what Doris saw? You want that number to drop? You want your energy to come back? You want to stop fighting your body every single day? Commit to these 6 steps for 90 days. It's not a lifetime. It's a test. And the data will speak for itself. The real secret to this whole thing isn't blueberries. It isn't apples. It's elimination. The fruit you add to your morning matters far less than the thing you've been drinking every day for 40 years that spikes your blood sugar before you've even sat down. Doris changed two things. She added the good, and she removed the bad. The removal was just as powerful as the addition. So here is the question you have to ask yourself. What is your orange juice? What is the thing you do every single morning, without thinking, that is silently undoing all your hard work? Is it a glass of fruit juice? Is it a sweetened coffee drink? Is it a pastry you grab from the counter? Whatever it is, you need to identify it. Because adding blueberries to a bad breakfast is like putting a bandage on a broken leg. It doesn't fix the problem. It just covers it up. The fruit you eat matters, but the habits you break matter more. That is the next piece of this puzzle, and we are going to talk about it. Because the 3 morning drinks most people reach for every day are quietly raising fasting blood sugar, and 2 of them, genuine alternatives, can lower it. One of them is probably in your hand right now. If you want your number to move the way Doris's did, you need to know what those drinks are. The blueberry was the beginning. The morning drink is the next battle, and you are going to win it. I'll see you in the next one.